What is going on, guys? My name is Barnard, and today I'm here with ILBetting.com, here to take you through a sportsbook review. I'm here to dive into FanDuel Sportsbook and with the pros and cons of the site, the overall process for how you step up, how you deposit money, what the withdrawal process are, and the overall expectations. So I'm excited. Make sure to check out the link in the description to take the article version of this, all the breakdowns on what to expect, as well as the step-by-step how to go through the process, and some links to just get you headed in the right direction, whether it be going to FanDuel directly, accessing the awesome promo codes that you can take advantage of, and everything else. So that link is in the description for the article itself. But here I'm taking you through the visual side of things and a look at what to expect from FanDuel Casino. FanDuel Sportsbook and Casino have first became legal in Illinois in 2020. Here is a look at the interface as a whole and what it looks like. That blue and white kind of design is what they're known for. Its user-friendly interface is one of the biggest pros when it comes to FanDuel Sportsbook and Casino. They are one of the biggest players in the marketplace, and for good reason. They've done a very nice job of establishing themselves first in the fantasy sports and daily fantasy sports department, and then growing to a true sports book and spreading through the legal process in this. So let's take a look at FanDuel specifically. This is the interface, as I mentioned here. The first thing that you're going to do when you do hop on FanDuel is to join. So if you want to click that join now button in the top right, we go to Illinois for the sign-in process. And here's where you go to create an account. You enter an email, pick a username, pick a password. You will have to go through to verify your account and location to create that. But this is the process for this. Now, I will skip a couple steps here and let me log into my own account so we can get set up and give you a look at the inside of what things look like from there. But that is the general process for how you go about it. That you do go about logging in, verifying yourself. You are going to have to submit a license, verify your identity, and all those things. They're pretty standard when it comes to whatever sports book that you are a part of, but those are the steps for FanDuel as well. So once you do get logged in, this is what the inside of the FanDuel website looks like, and I will share my screen with you again right here. And then now we can get rolling on making some actual money and going through the actual process. So the setup looks just about the same. It is just the fact of being logged into account or not. We now are. And the first thing that you would want to do in this situation is go back to the top right and click the add funds button. This is how you deposit and put money into your account. They give you a wide range of options for what you want, whether it is online banking, debit card, Venmo, PayPal, credit card. There's a 5,000 limit for how much money you can deposit in FanDuel by month, but you can bypass this by going to a physical FanDuel casino location. Here's some options for this at the cash at counter, pay near me, and then, of course, wire transfer and FanDuel prepaid card or gift card. So plenty of options, whatever you can need. It is a minimum $10 deposit. The minimum for a wager, your first wager would be $5. But here are the quick options that they give you, and it is as simple as that. And we will go back to the main screen here to dive into some other areas. To go back to the casino here, I want to take a look at all these sports that they do have to offer. FanDuel has a very diverse options when it comes to what sports to bet on. All the main players when it comes to baseball, football, soccer, basketball, tennis, as well as some more niche sports that they offer as well. If you look, they have Aussie rules football, cycling, cricket, darts, lacrosse, motorsport, snooker, tennis. They have just about everything that you could possibly want to. And on top of that, they have a ton of options when it comes to not just the traditional betting. These same game parlays are something that are a huge point of emphasis on FanDuel Sportsbook. You can check them out. They're throwing these right at the top here. So here's one for the Yankees versus Tigers playing today. A pre-made same game parlay that you can capitalize on, plus 1,091 odds there. So that's something that if you're interested to look. But let's take a look at, with NFL season coming up, some of the example bets that you may be interested in. There's a lot of intrigue about the Bears coming in this year. Justin Fields expected to take another leap. So maybe we're buying the stock in that. And that we believe that is the case that is going to happen. If we scroll down to the NFC North winner for 23-24, see the Detroit Lions are the favorites at plus 145 odds. Minnesota Vikings right behind them at plus 260. The Green Bay Packers at plus 350. And the Bears in last place in this at plus 430. But a pretty even odds when it comes to divisional. If you look across the NFL, for example, right above it in the NFC East, the Eagles are the favorite at minus 115, with the Washington Commanders down at plus 1,300 in last. So there is not as much clarity for what is going to happen in the NFC North. And let's say we're feeling the Bears. So if we were to click that plus 430 to believe in them to win the NFC North, you then go and click on the wager button for how much you want to put down. Say you were to throw $10 on that. That would be $10 to win 43. And then you go to the deposit to place. If you have money in your account in this situation, you would just go about this. Otherwise, it takes you to the screen to make sure to put money in. And then you go, you verify, and you are all good now. I will say one of the weaknesses and negatives of the FanDuel. One of the common complaints, if you look at the reviews and everything that goes along, the geolocation service can be spotty at times of verifying the location you are in. It's incredibly important for the legality of these sports books to make sure that you are within the state's boundaries that you are wagering on. In Illinois, that you're within the Illinois border. But if it isn't, it is very frustrating on the other side of things when you know that you are within those legal borders and still having trouble getting your wager in. So that is a common complaint. Typically, it is one that you just shut down the app, open it back up, and it does fix itself. Personally, I've had way more just effectiveness on the mobile app, and that's been the solution, is that you just close it out, you log back in, and it does fix itself. But it can be frustrating at times when you do have to click a wager in 2 or 3 times just to get it to go through. Another area that I did want to point out is the promotions page here. There's a ton of rotating promotions that are constantly changing. This is something to keep a massive eye on. The promo code when you first sign up is a key thing. Having money off the bat, that's an awesome way to coach your account with some extra funds to get you started and open yourself up for the maximum potential profitability when using the app. So that is something you definitely want to check out. The link in our description on ilbetting.com. We keep you up to date with the best offers when it comes to promotions, but that is the best thing that you can do when kicking things off is making sure that you're keeping the door open for the most that you can possibly make. And the best way to do that is to capitalize on the promotions that are offered. That is a huge positive of FanDuel Sportsbook, is they're very, very giving with their promos and very frequent in the promos that they do offer. So that is something to make sure that you are keeping in mind here. I also wanted to touch on the live betting here. Live betting has become increasingly popular. It's an awesome way if you're watching a game, you want to get in on the action, feel it a little more, feel the intensity, that you can dive right in. So the live betting is right at the top left of the popular there. There's 18 games happening right now. And another huge thing that I would like to point out is the watch live button. So not only can you wager on it live, but you can tune into the game right here on FanDuel Sportsbook. So that is an awesome way that no matter where you are, you can take the game with you. And you can see the live video button right there. I'm not going to dive fully into it for the sake of this video, but that is all you need to do. So right now there's the International FIBA World Cup going on, Brazil versus Spain playing. If you're really feeling Brazil, plus 520 on the money line, you can put a little bit on that, and it's the same exact process of what you do to put in another bet, that you just add it to your bet slip and then click confirm, go through it, and you are good to go there. So the live betting is another thing that is incredibly important, incredibly fun to utilize. I did mention the same game parlays earlier. I want to dive into that a little more. Let's go over to the MLB now. And let's look for the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs have been playing some really good baseball down the stretch. They're climbing their way into the playoff picture and fighting in that wild card race. So I would click on the Cubs game set to face off with the Milwaukee Brewers. The Cubs 1.5 run favorites on the run line, plus 158 for that value, minus 124 on the money line. Let's go over to the same game parlay category. So as I mentioned, something that is very popular across all sportsbooks, and FanDuel have been one of the pioneers of this and leaders to it. You can jump in whatever you're feeling to hit a home run. Dansby Swanson's having an awesome year, a guy that's always a threat to go yard. You can add him. Let's make our own little same game parlay here. So let's get rid of the other options that we have on the table. We're taking Dansby Swanson to hit a home run, to record a hit. Let's go Nick Madrigal, I'm sorry, and then player strikeouts, Jeremy Italian. We think he's going to have a good day, so over 4.5. So just those three at plus 15 or 1,563 odds there. This is where you can do some real damage, and it's the same process of placing a wager. So just a 3-leg same game parlay, $5 wins 78.19 there. So there's some awesome value that you can capitalize. As I mentioned, this is something that is utilized quite heavily on the FanDuel Casino app, FanDuel Sportsbook and Casino. This is something that is a point of emphasis for them. And the last thing that I would like to mention in terms of the usage of the website overall is just the early cash out options. That is something to keep an eye out, that at times, and it is not for every wager or every style of bet. Typically, a lot of the futures bets are not the same standards as the regular bets, and this is something that varies in their availability. But there are options often where you can cash out of a bet early. So if you have one in that you don't feel as confident about, you can kind of take at least a percentage of it. You're usually not getting full value back depending on how things go. Or there's an option, like I can speak for myself, that I had the Phillies to win the World Series last year. They make it all the way to the World Series, and a $5 bet that could have paid out, I believe it was 500 at the point of when I placed it. When I had a feeling that the World Series was not going their way, cashed out for an even 200 there. So even though I did not hit that max, they did not win the World Series, and I did make profit in it. So that is something to keep an eye and always weigh your options. Those are the biggest things when it comes to the sports book as a whole. The last couple items that I did want to touch on, Another negative that is brought up with FanDuel Sportsbook and Casino often is their customer service. There's been some negative reviews when it comes to how active the customer service is at times them not getting back to you in quite the desired response time for issues. And that can be frustrating when you're trying to fix some solutions. But overall, they are one of the premier sports books on the marketplace for a reason, that they have just about everything you could possibly want when it comes to the standard bets, the future bets, the daily fantasy is an option. It is an all-in-one watching live through the live betting portion of things. All these options are great things, and I do think it covers just about everything you need. So overall, I think they're one of the pioneers, one of the big dogs in the marketplace for a reason. I would recommend using FanDuel Sportsbook for all of your sportsbook needs. They do have everything else you need to be covered there. I appreciate all you guys for tuning into this review. Like I said, make sure to click the link in the bio of this video for a more detailed description, a more step-by-step of how to set things up and go through the process. FanDuel Sportsbook and Casino is one of the leaders for a reason. I hope you guys enjoyed the utilization of it yourselves, and I will talk to you next time. My name is Sean Barnard, signing off.